All right, I finally figured it out. I'm not that smart. It's almost 12 o'clock here, midnight. And sometimes I used to think I did my best work late because, like, nobody bothers me. But then I started to realize, like, I think late, I break down. It's easier for me to work because I don't have the distractions, but it's also harder for me to work because I'm tired. I'm just tired. All right. So I thought I would just jump on before I went to bed. And I was just going to do a little Twitter scrolling. And I thought, oh, wouldn't that be a joy? A dream come true if anybody else was awake and wanted to watch me scroll the internet. That's a fun thing. Hey, what are you going to do? I'm just going to scroll. Can I watch? So that's what's going to happen. Actually, I'm going to scroll. Nobody might actually get on. I don't know. All right. One of the downsides to the to streaming and then sharing your screen is that you can't see. Oh, there I am. I don't know how I did that. Oh well. I'm really struggling tonight. This Google update's got me all twisted around. All right, so let's take a look and see what is cooking out there. So we had 70 posts here. Obviously, the big news of the day: John Mueller's he, he got dragged today. John got dragged through and look, so he ends up posting this big thing, finally put something out. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the longer an explanation is, or that somebody feels like they need to explain, means that they're trying to cover their tracks a little bit. Maybe not the case, but that's sometimes just like the first thing I think of is like, man, couldn't you just said mind your own business? But whenever you go through this whole thing, like, well, let me explain here. It's like, feels weird. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna just kind of scroll. Let's see. This low DR site has been going nuts since Google's update. I mean, it's the same DR as me. I got excited there for a second, but my UR is higher than that. It's up 80% since March 5th. It's only got 202 article. Curious what this site is? I mean, yeah, I'm sharing it along in my newsletter. Okay. Um that is pretty interesting though that it's popping since the 5th, and that's definitely more than a blip. It's actually something is cooking. This is depressing. As a result of turbulence with Google the last few updates, 62% of respondents are less likely to start a new website. It's sad to see the entrepreneur spirit. Well, yeah. That's interesting. 62% of respondents are less likely to start. That's probably right. Maybe honestly, it might it might need to be a little bit higher. 62 seems like, I mean, 6 out of 10 seems like maybe 8 out of 10 should be thinking about it right now. Let's see here. They hated Jesus because he told the truth. You're all posers. Change grunge to SEO. Oh, none of you are SEO. Okay. Some about boxing. Is there any new tweets popping? No, not yet. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there is a little bit of something. This isn't again, Google search on it. I'll tell you what, for a parody account, Google search honesty put out some heat this week. If you didn't get a chance, go and read those because they did one that was actually really, really good and actually called Google out and kind of said some stuff. The funny thing with X is people are tweeting and they're sort of like beating around the bush. I've noticed, there's a lot of hinting towards Google. Like one of the examples is hinting that Google is being petty and going after people with manual updates because they spoke out about it. But nobody really kind of says those exact words, or not many people are anyways. There's a lot of like, it's strange. I said something out loud and now I've got a penalty. Weird, right? There's a lot of that kind of thing going on. Google search honesty just kind of came out and was like, they went for it this week. This isn't domain reputation abuse at all. This is a shining example of helpful content. So pointing out again that Forbes is ranking 2 and 3 for the best affordable CBD oils and 5 best CBD oil. So 2 different articles in the top. And that's for best CBD oil with a 22 volume and a 72 keyword difficulty. That's a bit. Let's see what people are saying about that one. That's pretty wild. Let me see here. They just need a best CBD oils Reddit page, not completed. What's reputation abuse? Never heard of it. Let's go here. Wait. So you don't have to go to Forbes for medical info. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Probably all AI generated too. Definitely written for readers and not for search engine. We should be thankful to Forbes for their pure. Kevin's been posting some pretty good stuff. You know what? I don't know if I need to follow Kevin. Kevin's been posting some really good stuff lately. For the pure hearts, giving helpful content with zero intent of making money. If anything, then this domain has got a boost at the cost of small publishers. Finally, a site that I can trust. I mean, that one's pretty dirty. 2 and 3 on a 22K for CBD oil. Let's see here. AI news. Google. I'm not too interested in AI news here. Bing traffic versus Google traffic. Same website, same period. Here's what I noticed. On the most recent day, March 11th, I got 3 times the number of impressions and almost 4 times the number of clicks from Bing as I did Google. Traffic has almost doubled since I started optimizing for Bing in mid-December. The total number of impressions is nearly identical. Bing is better at sending impressions for the keywords I'm actually targeting. On average, Bing's top pages rank 38 spots higher than they do on Google. Top pages on Bing seem to correlate positively with popular pages on Pinterest and Facebook. Since the issue, Google hasn't provided site owners the data we need to improve our traffic. All right, so here's actually time for a conspiracy theory. I had a really good email that somebody sent me earlier, and they mentioned something like, this is aggravating because Google's not telling us what to do. And I'm starting to get this complex regarding this conspiracy theory idea regarding that. So what if Google doesn't want to tell us what to do? Because Google doesn't actually need us anymore. I'm not saying that they don't, but think about it like this. If you have an employer that has a need from you, that employer is typically going to give you a path forward to help you complete that need to benefit the employer, to benefit in the past, niche bloggers were writing articles because Google needed those articles. And Google gave us a decent amount of clarity on how to get those articles published and how to get them ranking, and how to get them seen. Why? First off, I don't believe that Google doesn't know the path forward. I think they're underwater right now, but I think that they know what's going forward. But the fact they're not telling us that path makes me wonder, again, this is conspiracy theory, makes me start to wonder if, like, what if their 1-year plan is actually that they don't need us actually anymore, that they don't need niche site bloggers? Because if they did, wouldn't they be telling us something? Wouldn't they be saying, well, here's what you should be doing? And by the way, when I say here's what we should be doing, they shouldn't be giving us the same, well, right for people, that nonsense, or, the stuff they feed us isn't the stuff that actually matters. They should be giving us the stuff that actually matters. The right for people that whole thing is just fluff. It's like filler to try to get them through the next day and to, like, pacify the person that's asking the question. But the person that emailed me, that's why I wrote him back. I said, what if Google actually doesn't want us anymore? Like, right now, this stuff is a mess. Obviously, the SERPs are a mess, but what if Google's okay with that? Because they're not interested in putting any more time into, like, rectifying the SERPs before the thing that they're eventually going to roll out. What if search is all AI by Google in 6 months or 12 months? I mean, I'm not talking just SGE. What if all of it is? I mean, somebody needs to put me on a paranormal show. What's that? X-Files. Maybe I'm getting too squirrely with that, but, like, if somebody needed something from you, if an employer needed something, wouldn't they tell you what it is that they need in order for you to accomplish it? The fact Google is not really saying anything, I'm starting to get a little bit of a weird feeling about that. Anyways, let's go on to the next post. Let's see what else we got on here. By the way, somebody else mentioned Bing to me earlier today about the Bing Webmaster tools, that they've got a similar thing to, like, page speed insights that you can do for Bing. And so the guy that I was talking to said that he did that test, and there were some things on there that Google hadn't alerted him to as far as his website's concerned. And I've actually seen it mentioned on Twitter a couple times today, so maybe worth checking out. Let's see here. Maybe starting a website was never entrepreneurial. Time to think about that. Treat your website as a brand, so you won't get a Google update. so you won't get a Google update hit. Simple as that. This is the problem with websites doing the reverse. You don't treat websites as a brand. You build a brand based on services and products. A website is just a channel representative. A website is not a business. A business can have a website. Interesting. All right. Let's see here. Let me scroll up a little bit, try to refresh this. By the way, a few of you that are hanging out with me, appreciate you. Just thought I'd do a little bit of late night searching around. Figured I'd just turn the camera on in case anybody wanted to watch. Let's see. Did I already refresh that? I did. Okay. People constantly ask for examples of niche sites that are performing during the HCU and recent March course spam updates. One of the best examples is Garage Gym Reviews. That's really interesting. So I actually know the guy from Garage Gym Reviews, a site owned and operated by Pillar 4, one of the biggest operators in the SERPs, including being one of the first to jump on the Parasite SEO bandwagon last year. That's interesting. This site is slaying rankings with easy to read, well formatted content, firsthand experience, style writing, optimized structure, solid. Da, da, da. This is all true here. And the other thing I will say about Garage Gym Reviews, so they're actually about an hour away from my house. They actually so they've been doing this for a number of years. I mean, they might be 10 years deep, and I don't see that mentioned here as well anywhere. They hire writers. They mentioned Hero style stuff. They have writers that go after those links. They do really good reviews. Everything they review, they have on hand. And when you're talking about fitness equipment, I mean, they're getting like I saw a video that they did for like the best air bikes last year, and they had like 12 air bikes just all lined up in their garage. They had to buy, set up a whole separate place. They got so much equipment there. So they do a really good job here. Unique images, that's true. Strong microdata, high publishing frequency, around 5 to 10 posts a day going live. They do a lot of stuff over on social media. Yep, very active, large social. They also run CTAs. Da, 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 da. So let me see what people are saying. Their content is not bad, but they are definitely writing for search engines. Um, I don't. I mean, maybe they are writing for that, but whenever I think of writing for search engines, I think about writing articles that you're just writing because there's an opportunity there. I think they write regardless, and they format it for the search engines, but it's a really good site regardless. Let's see here. A strong link profile from set apart. And here's the other thing. A lot of their backlinks are from the brands that are sending them stuff. So other people within the fitness industry. So not necessarily Barband, which has more authority and is even more well known, has seen the opposite trajectory. Interesting. That one has dropped out. Completely white hat. It is great. Definitely not necessarily white hat. A lot of links are building. Da, da, da. So, interesting to see somebody that I know actually mentioned there by Charles. Let's see what else is out here. Let's do a quick refresh. By the way, I just started a new channel for the Amazon Influencers program. If anybody's watching this and they're interested, it's the name is AMZ Influencers, AMS Influencers. If you get a chance to go check it, I've only got a couple of videos up. I've been doing the Amazon Influencer program for it'll actually be a year in April, and I just passed my 1,000 posts over there. It's been a really good almost 12 months. It's actually was outperforming my blog even when my blog was doing well. I was earning more with the influencer program than I was with my blog. Of course, the HCU ensured that. Another local SER. A lot of people talking about SEO today. The local stuff seems to be. Glad to see someone is benefiting from this update. A lot of local SEO seems to be doing very well. Bing is rolling out a lot of Bing talk today, man. People are starting to get. Now here. I'm going to end this with. I'm going to say something here. So earlier I talked a little bit about what if Google doesn't want us, right? Um, you know, it's Google doesn't owe us anything, and any money that we made because we were using Google's infrastructure and in a sense manipulating the data that Google was giving to us, um, we were using it. So I think that we have to also come now to sort of a realization that sometimes things just end. You know what I mean? Like sometimes Google has been such a giant or, a factor in just growing up, period. And the way that they've worked, but stuff sometimes just doesn't work forever the same way. I was actually thinking a lot today about one of my favorite stories of all time is the Blockbuster and Netflix thing. And um, Blockbuster was unwilling to change what their business model was, and they bet everything on that. They ended up being wrong. They weren't willing to change. Whenever they had an opportunity to buy Netflix multiple times, they declined it because they said, look, people want things to be the certain way. They want to walk into a store and they want to, have to see people whenever they're picking out a movie. They want to run out of. I remember going to the movie store and like they would run out of a movie, which seems crazy. But they weren't willing to like make the hard decisions in order to change stuff. If they would have changed stuff, it would have maybe eventually closed all of those stores, and people would have been like, "Wait, that's not what we've expected from Blockbuster. Like that's not the Blockbuster that we know." But if they had changed their business model, then maybe, you know, if they had bought Netflix, maybe they would have it would have survived. So I think that it is in the realm of possibility here that what we are seeing is the initial footprints of Google making those initial steps to turn the corner they need to turn in order to stay viable, because maybe the product of Google as we know it is not as viable as it used to be. And I think maybe AI maybe possibly ushered that in quicker than they expected. But maybe they don't care about the mess. Maybe they don't care that the rankings and the SERPs are disgusting and that there are certain companies like Forbes that are taking advantage of those rankings. Maybe they don't care because they're going to be breaking the entire thing anyways in maybe 6 months or a year. So like, why would they put any effort into trying to fix that stuff now? Maybe that's the case. I don't know. So that's it. I got a cat here. This is Franklin. Hey, buddy. This is Franklin. So this is another. I'm going to take this off of the screen. Hey, bud. This is another stray. Hey, Franklin. Say hey. Another stray that we found. Just so we live in an area where people dump cats. So I have 3, but there's still like 3 or 4 outside that I haven't been able to trap. This little guy, just undersized. Hey, bud. And just sweet as can be. Little baby Franklin. Although he did scratch the crap out of me today because he wanted up on my lap so bad. So that's it. If you haven't already, go check out my new Amazon Influencers channel here on YouTube. AMZ Influencers, AMZ Influencers. Helping you guys make more money through the influencing program. And that's it. Thanks y'all so much for watching. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit. Just thought I'd turn the computer on, do a little bit of X searching. I guess it's time for me to go to bed now. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and there'll be a nice reach for the sky on my search console traffic. I doubt it, because right now it looks like, you know what, let's take a quick look since we're sitting here. Let's see what's cooking on my oh, look at that 4. Man, I'll tell you what, here's something else that's driving me crazy. I don't know what's going on. I see page not found. I got 3 hits. I can't find that stinking thing. I've looked through all my analytics. I found some articles that I'm still working on that. I don't know what that is. But yeah, this is 4. Before the HCU, by the way, this number rarely went under 25 into double digits, which is, you're hanging out with me for a few minutes. Me and Franklin are going to bed. See you tomorrow.